It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
That's right. You know what time it is. Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com.
Are we live?
However, you are watching Woodward Sports. We hope to be on the air. Caller, you are on the air. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
What's going on, my guy? I'm just extremely excited. Last night, obviously, we'll get into the WBC. We'll break it down more. But you see where it got me. I got my Tigers gear on. I got Rogelio in the sound booth today. So I'm excited. I'm thinking baseball, at least for the first segment block. I'm excited, man. It was something. So I'll introduce Maz, and we'll go from there.
What's up, Maz?
Hey, guys. It was a fun night last night to watch some baseball, and fun day today to talk about that and all things Lions.
The WBC logo kind of looks like that.
This Key truck that's going by on Woodward now, guys.
How about that matchup?
Well, let's get into it. There you go. Man, just jam it in there sometimes. So look, World Baseball Classic, it was fantastic. It was fantastic baseball. And for a lot of people, it was an introduction to baseball. Yeah. A lot of people have not been watching this sport. A lot of kids have not been watching this sport. But this World Baseball Classic was exactly, I think, what this game needed to kick off their season next week. The World Baseball Classic was terrific television, great theater, and just a flat-out great sporting event.
Yeah, 100%. It's something about when it's, country versus country. It's the world versus the world. Is you give me your best, I'll give you my best, and we'll see who's going to knock this thing down. And just to see kind of Japan's chart. This is the third time Japan is running, but this is the first time ever that somebody's going undefeated and doing so, winning the championship. So just seeing it happen like that, to see the energy of these players. These players told interviewers and reporters, a lot of them said, this was more than winning the World Series. Now, I don't know how true that is.
Around the country, or around the world, I do believe that is way bigger than winning a World Series.
Well, around the world, they don't get really that chance. They're cheering for like a couple players here or there. You know what I'm saying? So
but I'm talking about for the players.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is bigger for Shohei Ohtani to win a World Baseball Classic with Japan across the front than it would if he won a World Series for the Los Angeles Angels.
I agree, because I think he's representing Japan in America. Mm-hmm. So when he gets a chance to represent Japan against America, of course it's going to mean that much. I think for like USA, though, I don't know for a set individual. If Mookie Betts won it, does this mean more for Mookie Betts than winning the World Series?
I don't think so.
Thank you.
I don't think so for the American players.
And that's where I was going. But getting back to Shohei, like getting off kilter, just watching how they got there. They beat Mexico, they beat USA, and then you could not have designed it any better. I tapped out after about the third inning. Mm-hmm. I took a break. There's no shame in that. It was long. Can we say that the pitch clock makes baseball better? Yeah. Because I watched it without, watching that WBC without the pitch clock, I was like, I'm taking a break into the 8th inning. I think it was too long, but when you got to the 8th inning, I saw Maz's text. Uh-huh. And when I saw Maz's text, I knew it was time to turn back on. And, man, Shohei Ohtani on the mound, facing down, Betts, and his teammate, Mike Trout, to win it all. That is theater at its best.
Listen, man. Japan won it, and they went undefeated. They played in the weak bracket. Let's start there, okay?
I thought the United States played in the weak bracket.
No, U.S. played in the best bracket. Mm. Japan went through Israel,
Raj
Italy.
Is saying no.
Pardon?
Raj is shaking his head.
U.S. went through Canada.
Raj, Japan played in the weaker bracket.
Japan had to play Mexico. The United States didn't have to play Mexico.
Yeah, they did. They lost to Mexico.
Well, my point remains, though, is that the Japan's bracket-wise, they didn't have a lot of people, but I thought the United States' bracket was just as weak.
All right, here's the kicker. The U.S. had great hitting, but their best pitchers were not on the team.
Verlander, Scherzer.
No. If you put the best pitchers of the United States on that team,
Very
and
true.
they will have them in 3 years. They will be there. But it'll be too late for Verlander and Scherzer and those guys. But if the U.S. really put their team up, they would have beat Japan.
Maybe. Go ahead, Bray.
No, it's funny you say that. I want to bring this up at some point. It's a perfect timing. Can we say, with this spark the WBC as it relates to USA's interest?
Yeah.
Can we say that this is similar to the Redeem team that you're going to see probably in 4 years? Because I guarantee a lot of American baseball players, like the big guy that's sitting in New York, that's sitting at home right now, I guarantee you those guys are like, I got to play in this. I got to be a part of this. When you watch USA lose in 04 to Argentina, what happened in 08? The Redeem team. Will we see a Redeem team in 2020?
You will.
Whatever. Yeah.
Interesting question. That's a great question. I think I'm so.
Judge couldn't be happy watching that.
Well, that's just the Yankees don't allow their players to play in it.
They did back in the day. Derek Jeter played in it.
Yeah, well, they don't anymore.
Stanton played in it.
They frown upon it now.
I know. I don't get that.
I don't know about an individual.
Stanton played with the Marlins, though, right?
Well, it was 3 years ago.
Oh, you're right. He was a Yankee.
But even the what do you call it? I forgot what I was going to say now.
Players playing.
I forgot what. But if you're a player watching the excitement, there is no Major League Baseball game as exciting as these games.
No.
The pride in which you play, even those horrific Great Britain uniforms. Those were the pride you have when you put the horrific Great Britain uniform on.
How did Great Britain catch a stray?
I have no idea who their apparel outfitter is.
I've
never seen anything like that.
It was like
I've never seen anything like that, Rod.
It looks like somebody did it in Microsoft Paint or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But I think for players around the world, whether it's Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Japan, I think it is more important than winning a World Series to those players. For the American players, I don't think that. Because your whole life, you grow up
in the back
and you dream of maybe a walk-off homer or a walk-off hit in Game 7 of the World Series. You don't imagine. That's not. You don't grow up and say, "Oh, we just won the World Baseball Classic."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's because it's new.
It is new, but it's not new to them. The country pride that they have all around the world, whether you put on Great Britain, Venezuela, Italy, Mexico, whoever, Japan.
Do you remember when baseball used to be in the Olympics until they crapped all over it?
I actually don't remember.
Jim Abbott winning a gold
never
medal.
An Olympic
guy. He went to Michigan, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why baseball is not in the Olympics. This is the Olympics.
It used to be a big deal for the Olympics, too. You had guys like Mark McGwire, who was on the Olympic team as well.
Damn right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have anything on that. I think basketball got big. I think other sports got big as well. I think it's a time-consuming game as well.
Softball is great to watch in the Olympics.
Well, yeah, for sure. Females don't have a lot of huge team sports outside of track and field and swimming. So softball's a good one. Yeah, that's a big one. But it's just great to see. It was fun to watch, and it's fun watching display on the world. Like baseball is one of those sports now, man. You look at back in the day, it was a World Series in America, and that's all it was. Now, every country almost is represented. It's best baseball ever is being played right now. And the best baseball player playing that brand of baseball is Shohei Ohtani. He's the greatest talent in baseball history. I don't care what you say. Don't ever mention Babe Ruth again. I didn't say Shohei Ohtani is the best baseball player ever. He's still got a ways to go to prove that. But he's the greatest talent at baseball player of all time. You're talking about the guy can go on the mound and be top 3 ERA in the MLB. The guy can go on the opposite side of the ball and be the best hitter or second best or third, somewhere in the top 5 in his division and hitting at the same time. I heard a comparison today that was like, that's like one player being Patrick Mahomes and Sauce Gardner and playing both games. Like, I'm like, wow, that's heavy. If you think about it like that, imagine being Patrick Mahomes and Sauce in one person.
You're not going to get an argument from me.
Let me tell you.
It's just crazy what he can do.
Let me tell you.
He's fast. He's big.
He got to first base in 4 seconds.
He's the most unique player we've ever seen in the history of baseball. He is the most unique player we've ever seen. He's the best player we've ever seen, in my opinion. And not only, they got to get him out of L.A.
Yeah,
they have got to get him out of L.A. If you want,
he's going to be in L.A. just not with the Angels.
If you want kids,
please no.
If you want kids to watch baseball, if you want to grow this game here in this country,
got to be a Yankee.
I don't know about a Yankee. Get them to the East Coast. get him to the East Coast time range because nobody's staying up till 9:30, 10 o'clock for the first pitch for Shohei Ohtani. Get him on the East Coast. They have got to do that. When your stars, and a lot of them, you look at the Padres, look at the Dodgers, look at the Angels with Trout and Ohtani. A lot of baseball's big-time celebrities, for lack of a better word, are on the West Coast. Manny Machado, who's
Tatis.
Fernando Tatis. Guys like that make baseball fun to watch. Yeah. Baseball's not fun to watch.
Listen to me. If I were the Illiches,
going to the Dodgers, I'm just telling you.
If I were the Illiches, I would offer part ownership to Shohei Ohtani to bring him to the Tigers. I would give him part ownership in this team.
Are you ready to give him $600 million? Because that's what he's going to command.
Yeah, I don't.
$600 million.
I don't know.
Worth it to me.
I don't know what the hell I would do, but I would just do everything I could possibly do to get him on my team.
And don't forget in Seattle too, they have Julio Rodriguez.
That's another great one, Raj. And I don't know how you're the baseball guy of the group here too. I don't know how you feel about what I just said. I just feel like every single exciting player is on the West Coast. They've got to do something about this. I don't know about we talk about collusion, Bray, in the NFL all the time. I don't know about collusion.
This is healthy collusion,
but they got to work on getting some of these guys over to the Eastern Time Zone.
I completely agree with you, Ryan. A team like Boston, for example, he would thrive in Boston. He'd be a legend. And he'd be Ted Williams legend status. And the East Coast is so important because it's so focused on New York. Both Yankees and Mets are they have fever fan base. The same thing with Boston. Same thing with Phillies. Always top 5 in attendance. And so if you have Ohtani out there, you guarantee your gate is going to go through the roof.
I just think it's so important for this game as they continue to grow. And I think the World Baseball Classic was really good for Major League Baseball. And we'll see if there's any carryover effect next week when the season starts. And, of course, Tigers opening day 2 weeks from tomorrow.
How do you even think of watching the Tigers after watching that?
It's a snooze fest.
I have to.
It's a snooze fest.
Way to poop on my outfit.
Where's Baydoun's cocaine?
Wake up a little bit. Yeah, it is sitting over there in the chair. It does look very reminiscent. I don't think there's anything in there, though. Guys, all right. So we're going to put a pin in the baseball talk. We'll get
that was quick.
Yeah, right. We'll get straight to the Lions.
Those viewers must be down.
So the Lions are getting a lot of love nationally. A lot of love nationally. A lot of love
about time
locally here. I think the Lions are probably the sexiest pick to win the Super Bowl in the entire NFL this year.
My God.
I'm not saying they're going to win it,
right,
Bray. I'm talking about a conversation,
just making a
quick bet, or just an excitement. They're the most exciting team of the offseason. They're the most sexiest pick to be good this year. Everybody loves
I give you
them.
that one.
Kyle Brandt, Rich Eisen. Going to hear from them next, and I want to ask you locally here: are you on the bandwagon? And who gets to say who's on the bandwagon?
Are you allowed on the bandwagon?
And who makes that allowance? Who is in charge of the bandwagon?
Maz.
All these questions and more. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. I did it, ladies and gentlemen. I have reached my goal weight loss of 20 pounds. And I have Custom Health Centers to thank for that. They take the willpower out of weight loss, whether it's 20 pounds, whether it's 120 pounds. Custom Health Centers has a customized approach and a solution for your weight loss needs. All you have to do is call this number, 844-789-THIN, 844-789-THIN.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got Raj in the audio booth today. Fletch is with us as always. He's our left tackle over there, protecting our blind side and making it visually appropriate for you.
I found Bay Dune's Coke.
Oh, good.
I'm ready for the Tigers.
Ready for the Tigers season. That would be a sight to see Maz all coked up.
That Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear.
Can you imagine Maz who never had a drink in his life, just all coked up.
I'd definitely take that day off.
You're like, this still works.
He would run through. He would right through the booth, like the Kool-Aid guy. Just.
I'm glad you guys are having a good time.
Hey, Ryan. Those who know.
Oh God!
How do I comment after that?
You don't. You just go on to the next thing. You just go on to the next thing.
That was an all-time joke.
Oh man, it's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna play a couple of pieces of audio for you. Okay.
Oh man.
And it's in regards to Braylon. You mentioned this the other day. All the love that the Lions are getting nationally. It is nonstop, and it happened again yesterday. This is Kyle Brandt from the NFL Network. He's on Good Morning Football. This is, I guess he's got some Kyle Brandt basement or some other thing like this. Here's what he had to say about the Lions.
I'm really excited to say this because I haven't said it since I think I was in maybe 8th grade. The Lions are going to be really good next season. Hell yes. Feels good to say. Does it feel good to hear? I don't care. The Lions are going to be really good next season. There's something about them, and there's some really tangible things, and there's some really strong football things and draft things, but it's just this symbolic thing too. I hope they are. I'm openly rooting for the Detroit Lions next year. I think they ended last season as a top 5 team in the entire NFL. Not in the NFC. I mean the whole thing. I think they would have done some damage. They got into those NFC playoffs. I love the way they were playing. We're living in a time right now where it would be such a crazy thing for the Detroit Lions, who we've watched suffer in one way or another for decades, if they could just get in the thing and start knocking playoff teams off.
So that's Kyle Brandt. He went on for about 5 minutes. Shout out to the Ultimate Warrior poster he had in the background as well. That is fantastic stuff. Again, that's Kyle Brandt's Basement Podcast, whatever the case may be. Now I want to follow up with this. Here's Rich Eisen.
Is starting to fill, right? The Honolulu Blue bandwagon. Say that 10 times fast.
Big time. Lions
why not?
favored to win the division.
Why not? They played the best football in that division last 6 weeks of 2022.
As a Lions fan, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey.
By the way, Kay Adams did her own as well.
Kay Adams did.
It was yesterday, must have been.
The Lions
guys,
Day.
talk about the Lions today.
It is. They are the team this offseason that everybody's talking about. They are, and rightfully so. Are you excited about this as a Lions fan? Do you want people to be on the bandwagon, and who is in charge of allowing people on the bandwagon, Braylon Edwards?
No. We're going to Tom Mazawey first. I'm newly ingratiated as a fan of the Detroit Lions. So, Maz, you're the Lions statesman here. You have the floor.
Okay, as the elder statesman, and I know there have been Lion fans that are older than me, like our man who travels with the team.
Bill Keynes?
We know who we're talking about, the super fan.
Oh, Ron
the crack man.
Yep.
The crack man should really be the boss of this. But I'll tell you what, as a Lion fan, I'm allowing you to hop on the bandwagon. Braylon, I'm going to let you on first.
I appreciate
because
that.
we've been working on you for almost 2 years. And you're starting to soften, and I like that.
Do you know what, Maz? And to that point, I'm going to tell you how I know I'm starting to soften. Our own Dave Burkett, shout out to the Free Press, Dave Burkett, Lions beat writer for years. Great work that he does. He posted what Mel Kiper said, and I'm reading it, and I read it wrong. And it said, Mel Kiper on how Lions GM Brad Holmes has done drafting so far. I'd give him an A, what I read first, to a solid A, which I then in turn, I'm like, okay, that's 96%. To then you can go A minus because I completely skipped the word plus. All I saw was A minus. I said, whoa. How do you go from an A to a solid A to an A? I was upset. This is the first time I've been upset as a Lions fan.
So
I know it's starting to work on me. I was pissed at Mel Kiper. How was it not an A minus? I mean, A plus.
If you're doing audio only and you're not watching the show, so the tweet reads A dash plus.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
in reads out plus, PLUS.
I was so angry.
But the A dash looks like A minus. And Braylon got
we
all
get
up
Dave
in
on
arms
next
with it.
time, you can tell him he screwed you up.
Which sucks because I call my I'm pretty intelligent. I learned English down the street at UAD Academy, UD Jesuit, one of the best academies in the state. The minus is in the wrong spot, so I should have immediately saw that.
One of the things about all this love, whether it's Kuiper, whether it's Kyle Brandt, whether it's Rich Eisen, is that I do think A, it's an exciting time to be a Lions fan, and B, there is not one Lions fan out there. Not one, and I hope there aren't any, that should prohibit or make fun of anybody that is getting on board right now. This organization has had a 60-plus year abysmal record. One of the worst professional organizations in the history of sport. All of them, not just the NFL. So if it has taken people time to get on,
it's acceptable.
It is absolutely acceptable. If they choose to get on now, it is nobody's right to say you can't come on.
Yeah.
Nobody has that right to say no soup for you. Nobody.
The most interesting thing about it too is now.
Come on board, baby.
Climb on.
Climb aboard.
Climb on, baby.
Choo choo. Let's
like
go, Lions, baby, Lions.
It'd be like those peddlers downtown Detroit. I mean, the peddlers, just everybody pedal on. The other thing about it too is the narration or the narrative about a team, the narrative about a thing. It changes when people like you. It changed when people like you, because before people like the Detroit Lions, how would they categorize our losses? Oh, the Lions suck. The season sucked. They were bad again. The quarterback sucks. They think Stafford can't win the game. Oh, I feel sorry for Calvin. Calvin's the only person they felt sorry for. They did not feel sorry for anybody else in the Detroit Lions team. Nothing. Not the Detroit Lions fan base either. What word did who do we see first in that clip you saw? Kyle Brandt. What word did he use? He said they've suffered. Oh, now all of a sudden the Lions fans have suffered. Now the city has suffered.
No doubt.
But now, see, they like us. Now they will admit that we've suffered. Before they liked you, it was, the city sucks. They suck. Who wants to go to Detroit? Now it's, they've suffered.
They didn't even know we existed.
Exactly. Until they found out the city went bankrupt in 2009, much like other people did too.
There was some people that really didn't believe that this team has not won a playoff game since 1991. There's people out there that refuse to believe that.
Or that they have one playoff win since 1957 or
since
whatever.
1957.
Yeah.
It's really impossible.
Yeah.
But it's not. It happened. And it's happening, but it's over. It's over.
Let me ask you guys this question. Is there any possibility?
No. They're not going back.
Okay.
No.
And that's the question.
You're not here for it, man.
Nope.
Is there any possibility that this thing doesn't continue to just go like this? Because very rarely in sports, and I think we can all admit this, there is no, I don't want to say we've never seen it before, but it is rare that there is just this continuous slow build.
Ship, man.
We've seen rocket ships. We've seen one year, look at the Rams. Look at the Rams. Look at the Bucks. I mean, we've seen teams go straight to the top, but it is rare, I think you can say, where we've seen teams just continue to methodically have a straight line incline, essentially, to the top. Is there any possibility this thing dips before it goes back up?
There's always possibilities. I mean, it's possibilities that you get it wrong in the draft this year. It's possibilities that your free agent pools, Anzalone doesn't pan out. There are possibilities. I won't throw these things out there.
You had to throw Anzalone in there. Purpose. Can't leave the guy alone.
No, because now it's my thing. You know how you pick a player.
Can't leave him alone.
I think he's a really good player. I think he was a good leader for the Lions, but he's my guy that I mess on. I pick him. But it is a chance. But how he's building it, he's building in fail-safe stuff. That's the thing. Like, he's building fail-safes. He's really building structure. There's always a chance a structure can crumble. But there's less of a chance when you build it the right way. There's less of a chance when you go the depth that you're supposed to go down to. There's less of a chance when you add the exact amount of pillars that you're supposed to. It's less of a chance, and I think that's what he's doing. He's adding fail-safes into the plan that he's building.
This team is built for the long haul. And we're not picking in the top 10 for the next 10 years minimum.
Top 20, hopefully.
I'm just saying, yeah, you're right. We're going to be a playoff team for the next 10 years. I'm telling you right now.
At least the next 5 or 6, you'd like to believe.
Why not keep going?
I'm just saying.
If you keep this regime, this regime keeps putting positive stuff together, why can't you be a Pittsburgh Steeler? Why can't you become one?
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers were the laughingstock of the NFL before 1972. Then they get a couple of drafts, Mean Joe Green, Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Jack Lambert, and see ya. They're the best team
and
haven't
let go since.
Never. They might not make the playoffs every year, but they sure in hell ain't going to be under 500.
You would expect them to make the playoffs every year, though.
And you look at that black and gold, you're talking about Guardian Alarm. I'm thinking about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You ain't lying.
You say that too, Braylon, about making the playoffs and Maz making the playoffs. I'm disappointed with a playoff berth next year. I'm disappointed with anything short of a division championship. Anything short.
I don't give a damn. Just get in.
No,
and win.
I do.
Well, you can, but I just want to win.
I do. A division championship, home playoff game, playoff win.
Yeah, there we go.
That is my minimum bar for the Detroit Lions next year. Division championship, home playoff game, playoff win. Minimum bar. Low bar. That is my low expectation for the Lions this year.
But you'll take a playoff win.
I will. Yes, of course I'll take a playoff win. But
I was about to say, stop that sentence right there.
Because are you telling me? I think 11-6 probably wins the division. Are you telling me you're okay with a 10-7 record with that schedule and that football team next year?
First of all, how did me and Maz get pegged into you talk about playoffs? I ain't saying anything just about the exception of playoffs.
But I'm giving you my.
He said, but you act like I said that was what I expected. Like, if they get to the playoffs, that's fine. He was talking about the Steelers, and we're saying every year we know the Steelers have the chance to go to the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, where are you on my minimum bar?
I heard what you said, but last year 13-4 won this division.
Correct.
So if 13-4 wins this division next year, and
that's
the Lions
more
are 12-5,
fair enough.
I'm not necessarily pissed.
Fair enough. I don't think that. Fair enough.
Right.
I don't think that's the case.
I think, like, to your point, they're silly. They definitely should or could win the division and host a home game and then win that game. They definitely could do that. But let's be honest, Ryan. Like, a season is a season. It's a long season. Things happen. If somehow somebody beat them when we're 12-5 and the Lions 11-6, but made the playoff, I'm cool with that.
They're sweeping the division next year.
Yeah, I think so. But
if that's the case, they're division champs, aren't
correct.
they?
Yeah.
So again,
that's fine, right?
Yeah, minimum bar.
Yeah.
That's your minimum, though.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's not bad of expectations. It's not.
We remember when the Lions were good in the '90s when they would have that run and shoot and they got really successful and then they just went off the tail.
Yep.
To me, just don't do that.
After they lost to the Redskins.
Don't get embarrassed by the Eagles on the road, promising victories. Just go out there and win. Because as a fan, I'm done. I've been done with the Lions for a long time. I'm the cynical guy.
Are you on the bandwagon now, though?
Nope. We're not letting you on.
No. You know what? That's
the
fine.
ship left.
No, Braylon, you can be a gatekeeper. That's fine. But
I'm not the gatekeeper.
I love being able to see Maz through your cam shot, though. I think that's great. Look at that.
I never noticed
that. I mean, talking baseball this whole time, but like, look at that.
This is the clowning mode.
Oh, God. That is so great.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
What were you saying, Raj?
No, I'm just saying, like, I want what you want. I want to see them win a division. I want them to be successful before I can jump on the bandwagon because I've been there before. They won a couple playoff appearances. Everybody got excited, and then they went nowhere.
And this is actually real, really. I'm glad you brought that up. This is why I always keep it in perspective. Like when we talk, I don't try to poo-poo because it is an exciting time. So thanks for coming in here and turning to me from last year. But he is actually right, though. You ask, is it a chance that they can go backwards? There's always a chance, but they're building it the right way. But at the same time, in terms of getting on, it's okay to get on now, but I understand the hesitation. I understand we've been here before. We've seen this before. We're right there. But at the same time, the energy like this has never been there before. The excitement like this has never been there before. Lindsey Hunter did the show on Monday. He got drafted in 93, was here to 2000, so he was there for a lot of that. The Barry Sanders years, the Johnny Morton, the Herman Moores, the excitement over this guy, that guy, this brought in. Never has he seen excitement like that, so I think that is something to pay attention to as well.
Guys, we focus so much on the 6th pick of the NFL draft. I want to focus on the 18th pick We never got to it yesterday with Mel Kiper's mock draft. I am going to tell you what this team absolutely has to do. I'm sure Braylon and Maz have their opinions as well. And one thing I do not want to see at 18. But first message from Fairway Packing Company. Fairway Packing. Choose it. Family owned and operated since 1956. Burrata Blend Burgers, award-winning chop house steaks, or you can impress your friends with a dry-aged Wagyu tomahawk steak. Ooh-wee. See why the top chefs in the country choose Fairway. You can visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Order online. They ship anywhere. Visit fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Be sure to check out your coverage with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many people have tried and all love Mark and Swiss Insurance Group. They provide the best coverage for your property, your kids, your community, all things considered. Join Mark, SwissInsuranceGroup.com.
Hey, subscribe to the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show on Apple Podcasts or Google Play. Anywhere you get your podcast, please subscribe to our show, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Give us a 5-star review as well. Those certainly help us out. I wanted to focus on this, guys. The 18th pick. We talk so much about the quarterbacks and what are you going to do at 6 and Jalen Carter. We don't talk about anything when it comes to 18. We didn't even get to it yesterday with the Mel Kiper mock draft that dropped yesterday. He has the Lions at 18 selecting the number 1 tight end in this draft. That is, of course, the player from Notre Dame, Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer from Notre Dame, best tight end in the country last year in terms of by statistics. Obviously, Brock Bowers, who's coming out next year as the tight end everybody's clamoring over. But Michael Mayer is a great dude. Actually, Brady Quinn, who's a friend of the show, shout out to him, boy, just had his 4th child, by the way, Ryan.
Brady did, huh?
Brady and his wife just celebrate their 4th kid, brought them into the world. Beautiful baby girl. Congrats. He talked about Michael Mayer on the show a couple times last year, talked about how good he was, big tight end. He's blocked. He's deceptively fast. This is a guy. We talk about the Lions having Zylstra, and you have Mitchell, and then you have Brock Wright and Zylstra. And, you just have these tight ends. But none of them necessarily right now are the tight end that you think about when you think about a George Kittle, or you think about the tight ends of Freiermuth, you think about Dalton Schultz, you think about Goddard, think about these tight ends that are really good tight ends, man. They have mismatches. They can get open on they get open on cornerbacks as well as linebackers and safeties. Michael Mayer's a guy like that. Michael Mayer's a player like that. You yourself said, make what you do better. What the Lions did better last year was offense. It was the offensive line. It was the efficiency of Jared Goff. It was the efficiency of Amon-Ra St. Brown. You now got running back in David Montgomery you believe in. Michael Mayer, 18, might not be a bad pull. If you're talking about built the defense in the offseason, which they have so far, done a really good job of it, Jalen Carter may fall to 6. Now you're looking at a Jalen Carter and a Michael Mayer. That's really, really, really not a bad situation for the Detroit Lions. That gives you that wire. That gives you that tight end. You talk about it, and I did, and maybe I lied when I said you don't have to have one of those tight ends. There's a tight end in the situation and time that you can make it happen. You look at Kelsey. You look at what Travis Kelce means to that team. You look at what George Kittle means to that team. You look at what Goddard means to that team. Every team that was in the championship last year, they also had one of them dudes at tight end. So I could definitely see that being a good move.
I know, man, but if you gave up on Hockenson, why are you going to go get another guy when you already got 3 guys that are doing the job they did a better job than Hawkinson did.
Because Hawkinson's a 2-time Pro Bowl. And not to cut you off, Hawkinson's a 2-time Pro Bowl whose contract was up. So they were going to have to pay TJ. Right. And they're going market right now for an elite tight end because he's been ranked in the top 7 for the last 3 years. So the going rate, it will conflict with Brad Holmes is kind of built with adding the salary. Adding more money. I think it was a smart move, and it's a little less money by him. Yeah.
I in no way, shape, or form want the tight end there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I think if you've got an opportunity to get the number 1 wide receiver there or the number 1 running back there, you gotta go there first.
Or a linebacker.
Yeah,
number 2 linebacker.
I don't even care about that. I mean, we talk about the offense wins championships these days. They just do.
By the way, McCole Hardman just signed with the Jets.
Very good for them. I'm happy for the Jets. But again, guys, this is about offense here. You look at those 2 quarterbacks that were playing in the Super Bowl last year, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. That great, vaunted Philadelphia Eagles defense wasn't stopping anybody last year. They couldn't stop a nosebleed because that nosebleed's name was Patrick Mahomes.
Right, yeah.
I mean, every time he touched the ball, he put points on the board in the second half, and they ultimately won the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just kind of what you got to compete against. So if you've got an opportunity there, for me, to get the number 1 wide receiver in the class or the number 1 running back in the class, you got to just do what you feel is best for your team. I don't like the tight end there. This offense isn't predicated on having a dominant tight end. Like you mentioned, they have 3 of them, and James Mitchell. We talk about this a lot with Josh Pascal and Jamison Williams. James Mitchell feels like a free square.
5th round pick.
He'd have been a first, second, or not a first, but he probably would have been a 2nd or 3rd round draft pick last year had he been healthy. We really don't know his progress either.
Correct.
And maybe with this pick, the Lions will know how they feel about James Mitchell by then, how they feel about his progress, his love of the game, anything like that.
Is Mayer going to be? Is Mayer going to be a top 5 tight end?
Mayer's going to be a top 5 tight end. The only thing I would push back on that is, you bring up the Chiefs. That's more so Mahomes and Kelsey. That's a tight end, by the way, not those wide receivers that they had. You can't even name your wide receiver outside of Juju Smith-Schuster that played for them last year in terms of the big moment space. So Quentin Johnson, is he the number 1 receiver? No one knows that for sure. I didn't hear Quentin Johnson's name until 3 weeks before the Big 12 championship game against Kansas State. Is it Jackson Smith and Jigma, who all of a sudden now nobody likes? They forgot how good he was over there at Ohio
State. They got him
State.
going to 20 to Seattle. That's what I'm saying. The first wide receiver taken, Jackson Smith and Jigba going 20 to the Seahawks.
Understood. You look at what happened with the Detroit Lions last year. They struggled in the road games. Jared Goff struggled on offense on the road. They struggled as a team. You look at even some of the wins that they had on the road. They weren't very productive on the offensive side of the ball. When Amon-Ra St. Brown, when you can't get the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, when you couldn't get the ball to DJ Chark, if he's not going to be hurt, they're man pressing outside. Those guys can't get open. That's where an elite tight end comes in. That's where the elite tight end comes in, and it makes it easier for Jared Goff. You look at the quarterbacks have big numbers. They got a tight end that they can get the ball to because it's not always going to be about getting the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's not always going to be about getting the ball 60 yards down the field to Jamison Williams. Sometimes you got to have that tight end man that can get you out of clutch. I guarantee you, if Miami Dolphins would have used their tight end, Mike Gesicki, or they had another tight end last year, even the Dolphins would have been a much better team. That's the only thing I see is that tight end position can help you in the middle of the field because if you're trying to only go outside, the middle's wide open, you're wasting space and time.
Fair enough. You know, we always talk about this too when it comes. Well, we not always. We have been over the last week and a half since one of our guests, Jeff Risdon, mentioned he didn't think Anthony Richardson was going to be on the board for the Lions to take at 6, and it turns out he may or may not be right about that. I think he's more leaning towards being right about that. I'm going to make a little proclamation for you. I don't think Bijan Robinson is going to be on the board at 18 when Lions pick.
He's not.
In this mock draft, he's got Bijan Robinson going 27 to Buffalo. Bijan Robinson's not going to last to 18. He will not be at 18 when the Lions pick.
He's not getting past the top 10, like 100%.
Philly will grab him.
And it won't be the first 9, but it will be, as Tom Mazawey said, it will be Philly needs a running back. They're going to get rid of Miles Sanders. They have Boston. They have Gainwell. But neither one of those guys are home run. Neither one of those guys are every down backs. Bijan can be special. Bijan is going to be special. You mix Bijan Robinson in there when you have Jalen Hurts running an offensive show with Goddard and freaking Smith.
Talk about a free
Brown.
pick.
It's a free pick at 10, and they got another one in that round. So I think I could see the Philadelphia Eagles getting.
Uh-oh.
I haven't heard this horn in a very long time. I forgot it existed. That can either be the hot take or the hot clown alert. All right.
Lay it on us.
Here you go. You ready?
Hot take alert.
Hot take alert. Hot take alert. Bijan Robinson will not be available for the Lions to take at 18.
I know what you're saying. Don't even go there.
That means Brad Holmes will trade up to get Bijan Robinson. He's coming to 14 maybe to get
I thought you were going to 6.
Bijan Robinson.
I thought you were going to say 6.
He is coming to 14 or 13. He is trading up big time to get Bijan Robinson. Book it. Hot take alert. Fight me.
Bro, he just got
me.
David Montgomery.
I know he did.
At a price.
They don't know what they got. They don't know what they got in the other guy that wears 32.
They got a hell of a 1-2 punch.
Yep. That is a hot take.
I can't even I can't say that I can go against it. You know, one thing
go
about
against
it.
them.
I can't say, the only thing I can say about it is the running back position in the NFL is no longer as it used to be. That's why we're over here arguing about one particular running back in the whole draft, as opposed to like used to be 4 or 5, 6.
It's going to come back.
No, it will never come back. It'll never come back. Like, because the game's too fast. The game's too passive now. Like, you almost don't even need a running back to a certain extent. Like, I mean, you do. Hence, go see the Buffalo Bills. But the Buffalo Bills are good without a running back. But with the Detroit Lions, I feel like they're just in a good spot. I don't feel like you have to move up and get Bijan Robinson. What does Bijan Robinson get? What do most running backs give now in the NFL? 4 years? Like most NFL teams, 4 years for a running back and then get rid of him, or franchise him 1 year and then get rid of him. So I mean,
that's right.
I just know it's a first round pick, and it's a.
Let me just say this too: the Seattle Seahawks are not in the playoffs if it's not for Kenneth Walker. They're just not. The running back is so important in football again. The New York Giants are not in the playoffs if it's not for Saquon Barkley. And you can go up and
that's two guys, and the Seattle Seahawks, like, they're built on defense. They're not in the playoffs because their defense was good, offensive line block, and they nickel and dime, and they found a way to get in. Like
and they didn't win when Kenneth Walker got hurt.
Well,
towards
they didn't win in the playoffs
season.
either.
Maybe so, and I'm not saying that Seattle had the perfect roster.
But you just said you didn't want. You just said it's not about getting to the playoffs. It's about doing damage in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think he does damage. Yeah. I just think this team, Bijan Robinson is one of the best running back prospects we've seen in years.
Yeah,
I feel that strongly about that player, and he will. If you are going to tell me that Jared Goff is your quarterback.
Yep.
You better damn well be perfect around him. At the offensive line, at running back, at tight end, at wide receiver. I love Jared Goff. It's fine. But he is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Joe Burrow. He's not Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, you're 100% correct.
So the other 27 guys.
I know, and who's been winning the Super Bowls lately? He's not Jalen Hurts.
I understand that, but with the game on the line in the playoffs, with 2 minutes left in the game, and it's 3rd and 7, Bijan Robinson is not getting the ball. When you're on the goal, when you're on the 10-yard line, it's 30 seconds left in the game. They're not designing a play for Bijan Robinson. Tight ends get the plays designed for him, though. Tight ends can make that catch and extend the first down. Tight ends can catch that touch to win it all. And that's why I'm saying the difference is where the game has evolved to, tight ends, wide receivers, they're making those catches in those clutch situations. Running backs, Like Saquon Barkley had a great year for the Giants. A great year for the Giants. I don't see them going past that with Saquon Barkley.
Well, because their quarterback and their team around him aren't that great.
Right, it's a fun take that you had.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to trade up together.
It could happen, though. I don't see it being impossible. I just say I wouldn't do it.
Would you take him at 6, Ryan?
You know what? That is a really intriguing question.
Let's say A. Rich is gone. Let's say Jalen Carter's gone.
Let me do that next. Okay, that's a great thing. Where do you go at 6 if you're because I do not want to see
trade down 3 spots, maybe.
Because there's also one thing people keep saying that's not always a guarantee.
I do not want to see another cornerback slotted for the line. Daniel Jeremiah just did it. We'll show you that next. What do you do at 6 if all these guys are gone? We'll have that for you coming up. But first, a message from SMA.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health as well as substance use disorder. The podcast, this is the S word. And the S word, which is on woodwardsports.com, by the way. The S word stands for stigma because mental health. We're trying to destigmatize mental health. It's okay to not be okay, but where do you go when you're not okay? You go to thesportsma.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
It's Maz. Cousins Maine Lobster brings the best of the Maine coast right here to Detroit, USA. Try their variety of sweet, succulent Maine lobster and, of course, all the other menu options that you have a chance to check them out. They got 2 food trucks rolling around Metro Detroit. Find their schedules at cousinsmainelobster.com. Click on that QR code right there, and it'll take you right to their website, and you can download their app. cousinsmainelobster.com.
Maz, you bring up an interesting point about where do you go at 6, and I think there's so much talk now. Where do the Lions go at 6 if, in fact, Jalen Carter is gone? If what's the kid from Texas A&M, Texas Tech?
Tyree Wilson.
Tyree Wilson is gone. Where do you go? Maybe you don't like Richardson. Maybe Richardson's gone. Maybe it's
Why wouldn't you like Richardson, by the way? Now, if you're a Lions fan, if you're a Lions,
I love him. I love Richardson. And let me just say this about the Richardson thing, because this is going around a lot too. Can I read this for you?
From Good Morning Football.
And I want to give the guy credit that tweeted it out. So this is a tweet from Derek Oakrey. Derek Oakrey is a podcaster, Detroit Kool-Aid Cast. I just want to give him his proper USA Today Lions Wire writer. I just wanted to give the proper accreditation for that. He tweets out, Jamie on Good Morning Football just said she talked to Lion Scout, who has scouted Richardson a lot, who said, quote, "We just don't know what is between the helmet. We don't know what he is going to do when he gets up to the line, when he's in the huddle, etc." End quote. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is what you call smoke and mirrors. That is what you call, we don't want anybody to take him. We want him available at 6. So they want it on the record that they're going to badmouth him or somebody like that or whatever. They want him at 6.
Yes,
that is what the Detroit Lions' master plan is. If they can get Anthony Richardson at 6, that's who they want. The fear is that he's not going to be there. So you float this stuff out there like that. Kind of like, remember last year, Mike Tomlin? Who was Mike Tomlin all in on?
Kenny Pickett.
Malik Willis.
Right.
Mike Tomlin was all over Malik Willis, going out to dinner with him. They were doing this, they were doing that. He wanted the smoke screen that he was going to take Willis at 20. He wanted everybody to think he's taking Willis at 20. So if you want Willis, if you want the first quarterback taken, you better take Malik Willis. And secretly, he's taking Kenny Pickett on the side. The Lions are putting this out there on purpose because they want him there at 6.
Yeah, I agree. I've been in situations, smoke screens, in terms of with the when I came out in 2005, the Miami Dolphins, much like who's down in there? They just announced that 11 of them are going to this pro day. The Panthers, Carolina Panthers. Yeah. They just announced that 11 people from their organization will be going to Ohio State to watch C.J. Stroud's Pro Day. The only difference is he's going number 1, so there's no need for them to do it. But the Miami Dolphins did the same thing. Rick Spielman was the GM. Nick Saban was the head coach. Like, they brought 13 people to the Pro Day. They talked about me, talked about, hey, this is who we want. We need a wide receiver, big Michigan. Like, it was all that. And Nick Saban talked about his ties to Michigan State, knowing Lloyd Carr. Like, it was a lot of that. They did that because they wanted the Lions, who had 2 first-round picks, come up and get Braylon at 2. They had Redskins, who are now the Commanders. They had 2 first-round picks. Come up and get Braylon at 1 at 2. Nobody took the bait. They took Ronnie Brown, who they ultimately wanted anyway, at 2. I had them to go in 3. It's very real. People play the game and song and dance all the time around the draft. You got to throw people off the scent. You got to throw people off the scent of what you really want. Look over here. Party's really going on over here.
When I saw that, like, my heart skipped a beat.
No, first thing I thought of was this is
BS.
I didn't even have to finish the sentence. I didn't even have to finish the quote, and I knew that's exactly what they were going to do. Because if they felt like that, they would have stopped going to his games after the first month, or after the first 5 weeks, or after the first 6 weeks, or after the first 7 weeks. They went to every single game he played last year.
Well, okay, let me play devil's advocate on this, because I agree with you, but let's play devil's advocate.
You're going to give me the old scouts are cheap routine.
No, they are, but that's not what I was giving you. Is when you go to every game. They didn't go to all the games. They went to
every
6.
game.
They had somebody every. Okay, all
only
games.
NFL team to have a representative at every game he played.
Okay, 12 games, correct? 12 games. 2 reasons why. I'm gonna go with the opposite side of it. What if that is the truth? What if they go to all those games because you're like,
damn, I need to see it.
Yes, like, damn, I need to see it again. Like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to send a different scout down this week. Hey, you see if he saw the same thing. It's like, dang, I got to go to another game. I went to that Kentucky. I went to that Will Levis game. Oh. That wasn't a good one. Now we got to go back to another game. He's so intriguing. His size, his speed, his strength. Like, even he seems like a good leader. Like, when I heard him speak at the podium, I know this is a place where agents teach you how to be good. Trust me, I've been there.
He's smart.
But he's smart. He's intelligent. He seems like a leader. But every time it's like, okay, send somebody else to sit again. I'm just playing devil's advocate for 2 seconds. Could have been that where every time they left, they were left wanting more. Could that be the case?
It could be. Can I shout out as well Danny G on this chat? Y'all act like Richardson can't get better. Josh Allen wasn't accurate coming out of college. Look at him now. I mean, I think nobody's saying he's going to come in and start this year. We're talking about a 2-year project.
Yeah, for sure.
With especially one of those years being under Ben Johnson.
Also, Josh Allen don't play for my team. I don't care about what Buffalo Bills did. This is what we're going to do in Detroit.
But what they're saying is Josh Allen didn't have a great his first couple of years in the league, he wasn't accurate. But you can get better at that with work, the proper coaching, a good organization.
Brian Daboll.
It's something you can excel at.
Side note, Dan Orlovsky's brought this up on accuracy. If he completed 2 more passes per game, and one could have been a throwaway, one could have been a drop, you don't know those, his percentage would be in the 60s. That's how quick it could change with just a couple of completed passes in college with a bad team.
There's no doubt. And again, I don't know if I necessarily want to go down this Anthony Richardson road right now. I did want to mention the tweet. I do want to say, though, I think the Lions are really in an interesting position because Daniel Jeremiah has him mocked even post-free agency with Christian Gonzalez today, the cornerback from Oregon. And I just don't – I hate it.
We can't shake this
There's nobody left there. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Carter. Oh, he's got Devin Witherspoon. I apologize. Devin Witherspoon is –
From Illinois.
From Illinois. Cornerback, nonetheless. Corner. And he's got Tyree Wilson going to the Raiders. So, yeah, man, I don't know what you do there at 6. obviously trade the pick, but who's trading up to get who? Which team in the NFL is trading any assets after 5 if the mock draft is that?
Is Levis is there still?
Well, Levis is there. He's got Levis going 19.
Okay, so maybe the Raiders go up. Maybe the Raiders come up and get a quarterback.
Maybe they don't like him, though.
Maybe
a lot of people might not just. You don't take a quarterback if you're not in love with him. Like, and the only reason I want to take the quarterback is because I am in love with Anthony Richardson. I hope Brad Holmes is in love with him too. But that's the only reason I take a shot on him.
I think it's that kind of different concepts. I think for the Detroit Lions, who are, let's say Anthony Richardson was there. I think for the Detroit Lions, they're in a good situation where you got Jared Goff. Your team's going the right way. Your GM's building in the right way. If you take Anthony Richardson and you miss it, is what it is. It's like you can recover from missing with Anthony Richardson. It will suck, but you can recover from doing that. If you're the Carolina Panthers, you can't afford to take a shot. Like, that's why C.J. Stroud is now the quarterback that they're looking at, is because when you hear C.J. Stroud, you think it's not about necessarily safe. You'd rather be like not have a guy where you, like right now, you don't have a quarterback, it's chaos. When you have a quarterback, you're fine. You can figure it out. With C.J. Stroud, you know what? He's efficient. He's won at the highest level almost. He's been at least to the highest level. You know, he's played with elite wide receivers. He's a guy that's good at everything. You see him leading a little more fiery than Bryce Young. He's good at everything. You can't afford to take a leap at number 1 overall. You can afford to take a leap at number 6 when you got Jared Goff.
You absolutely can. Yeah. Really interesting scenario. I hate to see the corners there. Mock to Lions. I don't know what they do after that. I mean, do you take the offensive tackle there? I mean, I think that is the worst case scenario for that mock draft right there.
Yeah,
is the worst case scenario for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
No, but if that goes, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Carter. If that is the 5,
that's the worst scenario.
That is the worst case scenario for the Detroit Lions. If those are the 5 off the board, there,
agreed.
Then you are absolutely stuck with no. I mean,
because then you got to shoot up a prayer and hope it's Tyree Wilson. Because at the end of the day, we keep talking. Everybody, the quick thing for people to say is, "Oh, trade out of the pick, trade out of the pick, trade out of the pick." Somebody's got to be willing to trade with you.
Then just take Will Levis.
There has to be somebody wanting to trade with you. Interesting about Will Levis now. That was that was Jeremiah. Yeah. He had him he had Will Levis out of the top 10. Joe Clay, he came out with his top 25, his players in terms of his big board. He don't have Will Levis in the top 10. What people are saying about Will Levis is he was a big dude, like big muscular. He's like a gym rat. Loves being in the gym. He's a big guy, comes off that way. When they saw him at the combine, he had on a little itty bitty shirt. He was swole as I don't know what. When people hear something about you and then you double down on that, it's kind of like, oh, I heard this about him. And then you see it, it's like, damn, so it was true. Like, I'll give you an example. If somebody's like, oh, man, he's high emotion. Well, it's not a bad example. But if someone says, like, yo, he's a disciplinary issue, you got to watch him. And then something happens right before the combine. Well, I just told you this, and then you see this. So for him to come in, they were a little double down on it. I think people were taking off. I remember with Brady Quinn. Shout out to my boy. Brady looked like Superman. Like, Brady looked like Superman. The teams hated that. Brady stayed in the gym. My boy BQ was always in there working out before practice, after practice. Is. And guess what? A lot of those knuckleballs hurt. Like, a lot of those knuckleballs hurt. He got jacked up, and I think that's what people are kind of starting to say about Will Levis. He's in that gym too much.
Well, Rye, at 6 then, that's where your guy comes in.
Bijan?
If you're going to reach, why not get the best running back in the game?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't hate it. I love Bijan Robinson. The players I love in this draft more than anything, okay, quickly here, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Anthony Richardson, Bijan Robinson. And in my previous mock drafts in my own head, I have always said, if you can get Anthony Richardson at 6 and Bijan Robinson at 18, that is the perfect draft for the Detroit Lions and Ryan Ermanni, to me, because I anticipated Anderson and Carter being gone.
Right.
The reason why you wouldn't take Bijan at 6, and I know no one said that, but the reason why you don't take Bijan at 6, the guy that you take at 6, you plan on paying him 3 contracts. Nobody's paying running backs 3 contracts with the exception of Jerry Jones. So I'm not drafting Bijan at 6 When I know in 4 years I'm gonna be trying to get rid of these
I know, but
to save money.
Who then? Who?
No, I know. I'm just
I know. That's why I'm like,
who?
who?
You can't get the running back at 6.
There's no doubt about it. All right, guys. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the publisher of All Lions on SI.com at Detroit Podcast, the great Doc Maakaron, going to join us next here on the program. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Let me get my foaling pin out here. Get down to Hamtramck. Couple ways to play this game. $12 unlimited open play or private lane reservation. 10 or 12 people on a lane for 2 hours. $120. That's less than $10 per person. If you're thirsty, they got multiple full bars and over 100 beers on the beer menu and the $2 mystery beer machine. Bring your own food in or even have it delivered. Plenty of room and a great atmosphere as well. Tell Chris Hutt that we sent you. It's thefoalingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir-fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
But very good. Good try. We'll get Planet Fitness again. Only $10. Oh, there you go. There you go, Fletch. Start all over, big guy. Very good.
Now is the best time to join Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. Has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10. Want all the perks? Black Card members enjoy the use of amenities such as unlimited tanning, hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, along with access over 2,000 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. Join today.
Thank you for that, Fletch. Hour number 2 of the program. If you're watching, tell a friend about Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey.
Fletch needs his brick of cocaine.
Yeah, no kid. Fletch on coke. That's what we need to see. That's for sure. Guys, let's continue talking about the Lions. He covers the Lions, publisher of All Lions on SI.com. The great Doc Maakaron. You can follow him on Twitter at Detroit Podcast. Doc, it's been a while. It's been too long, my friend.
What up, Doc?
It's all good. All the love being shown the Lions. We're talking about a Detroit Lions team that has huge expectations. It's all good. All good.
Hey, Doc, let me start there because we were talking about this a little bit earlier in the show. All this love that the Lions have been getting nationally, they seem to be the sexy pick for everything this year. Where are you on the expectation for the Lions, on the love that this organization is getting?
Yeah, it's well-deserved. I mean, you look at a football team 2 years ago, right from the first press conference from Dan Campbell, it was lampooned. But Dan Campbell was not speaking to the likes of me or the media. He was talking directly to the locker room in terms of what kind of football team he wants to create. And all you can ask for is stand by your word and deliver. And last year you saw a football team that started off 1-6 and then scratched and clawed their way back to win 8 out of 10 football games. And now when you let Brad Holmes cook and add groceries to the kitchen, oh my goodness, the respect and the adoration that's now being shown the Lions is well deserved. And this is an opportunity now, because before we've all laughed when we heard the rare national pundit talking positively about the Lions. Yeah. We'd all fall out of our chairs laughing. But this year, there is a realistic expectation that this football team is going to not only get to the postseason, but do some damage.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Detroit Lions caught a lot of strays on a lot of national shows. Now they're actually catching a lot of intent. Quick question, you look at the Detroit Lions, you look at how they're scripted, how they're moving the right direction. It seems like Brad Holmes does have his finger on the pulse. The thing I want to focus on, talk about what it means when all the players come here. They talk about just wanting to do wherever they got to be, whether it's Cam Sutton talking about wherever you got to play. CJ Mosley, I just can't wait. CJ, I just can't wait to get on the field. David Montgomery, I can't wait to get here. I'll pour water for Jared Goff if I have to. Talk about how excited, not only that they came, how excited. Cam Sutton said this is going to change his life. Let's go to Detroit. Talk about how excited these free agents are.
Yeah, it's just a vast difference than even 4 or 5 years ago. Look, Detroit had the reputation of being a retirement home. Players would come, cash their checks, and then hit those I-75Is when the season would tank. Now you look at it, and part of the rebuilding of the culture was to sell the program. That's why you see all these great videos. You see Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes talking a lot more. What are they trying to accomplish? They're trying to establish that, hey, this is a football program that can be fun in the locker room. We let men act like men. We treat them as professionals. And when out there on the football field, winning is very fun. And you realize that Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell, from their time with the Saints, laid a foundation with the players that were there. You look at a C.J. Gardner-Johnson talking about a coach, a defensive coordinator, as a father figure. You never really kind of hear that too often when you look at the player-coach relationship. It's a little more businesslike. But what the Lions are trying to accomplish is a family atmosphere where professionals can act like professionals, and that way you can foster the talent to grow and to perform at the highest levels. And when you can add free agents on one-year deals, guys, C.J. Gardner-Johnson could have accepted the contract offer that he was given. No, he bet on himself a little bit, willing to take a prove-it deal in Detroit, where he knows Aaron Glenn and is familiar with the scheme. That bodes well for your program. And now, with the collection of talent that's in place, it's going to be a lot of fun in 2023. And when you're having fun, players talk. And these players are loving being on social media, loving hosting their own podcast. So these players are loving sharing how great it is playing for Dan Campbell.
Doc, I hear the excitement in your voice. I hear the excitement in the city. I feel like I can hear from Ryan and Maz and everybody involved. Everybody wants to get on the bandwagon now. With that being said, just 2 years ago, this team was 3-13-1. Last year at the start of the season, this team was 1-6. Is there any chance that this team can go backwards? This is a question Ryan, Ermanni, and I were talking about with Maz literally 20 minutes ago. Is there any way that this team can go backwards from where they're moving right now?
Oh, who brought the hater onto the program? No.
We got to cover both sides, man.
Yeah, I respect that. Understood. What would derail the Lions' 2023 season? An injury to Goff, a significant plague of injuries, which has happened to a bunch of NFL teams. But when you look at it, this is a young, hungry football team, and you just have to look at the makeup of what type of player these guys are looking for. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will forego some talent to bring in gritty, tough football players that when the chips are down, when the team starts 1-6, they don't make noise in the media. They just bury their head in the sand and get back to work to be able to turn things around. That's the type of player that is being brought to the locker room. So obviously you're concerned about what the Bears are doing, the Vikings' talent on offense. But when you look at what the Lions have built, a defense that has improved, an offense, guys, that is going to be scary good with David Montgomery, and we're finally going to see Jamison Williams unveiled a little bit more. It's looking like the Lions are, and that, look at that home schedule. The home schedule is really advantageous for the Lions to win at least 7 of their 8 home games. So I'm looking to the Lions to take a step forward, and just like Ryan said, the floor is at least win the division.
Hey, Doc, talk about quarterback with me. We're hearing all this, that the Lions have been hot after Richardson the whole time. They've been to all their games. They've scouted the hell out of him. Now they float something out there that, they don't know what's between his helmet. So maybe to get the bloodhounds off his trail. First question for you is, do you think the Lions should draft him at number 6?
Yeah, it's a great question because it's confusing in regards to Brad Holmes said that he was going to make a more concerted effort to bring in a quarterback behind Jared Goff. But this is the tough part with Richardson. I see a player that is obviously a project but has the tools in the right system to succeed. I feel like it's the right player for the Lions at the wrong time. You look at what the Lions are needing, they're needing a veteran backup just in case if Jared Goff goes down in 2023, can go out there and win a couple games for you. I don't think that Anthony Richardson in 2023. Now, if I'm looking ahead to 2025 and he's developing and is behind a veteran quarterback, that could be a boom or bust pick. But right now for the Lions, they're in a position to take strides forward. I'm not so certain that you upset the apple cart and you bring in a guy that as soon as you take him number 6, guys like me are going to say, okay, Goff has a bad game and throws 2 or 3 interceptions in week 4. I'm saying, hey, wait a minute. What about Anthony? Put him in there. Yep. Maybe he can throw it deeper to J-Mo. You don't want that smoke around this football team. I think there's some quarterbacks you can select still in free agency as a backup and maybe draft a developmental quarterback in later rounds. I think this football team at number 6 needs a ready every down player to handle business. So while I love Anthony Richardson, I think he has a greater than 50% chance of being successful, just not right now for the Detroit Lions.
So when then? They're not going to pick in this position anymore. So now you want to wait and draft a quarterback that might be okay. Plus you lose the 5th-year option if you don't pick him in the first round. And who's left? Teddy Bridgewater? Case Keenum? Who's left to pick up?
Yeah, Maz, here's the thing. If you're drafting later, what does that signal? The football team is winning. Right. And what does that signal? That the love for Jared Goff is there. Guys, I know it's hard to wrap our minds around it. I've written plenty of articles at All Lions looking at a vast array of mobile quarterbacks, but you just have to finally accept what the Lions are telling you. Brad Holmes was part of the group that drafted him, and they traded significant capital at the Rams to get him. They have tailored. Ben Johnson comes in and spends an offseason looking and watching film with Jared Goff. They've tailored an offensive line, a run game, tight ends, and a wide receiver. Guys, I know it's tough to admit and accept, but this is Jared Goff's team.
Tell him that.
He falls. This is Jared Goff's team. They're telling you this is Jared Goff's team. And until he guys, he performed last year. He shut up all the critics. He performed well. He kept that team together. The offense is purring. So, guys, I think all credit to Jared Goff by being able to, with his play, let us maybe not have to look at the quarterback position at least for a couple more years.
Talking to Doc Maakaron, covers the Lions for SI.com. I want to put this mock draft up for you here, Doc, because I think this is the worst case scenario for the Detroit Lions. This is Daniel Jeremiah's. He's got Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, and Jalen Carter going in the first 5 picks. If that is the scenario, what the hell do you do if you're the Detroit Lions? Because nobody is going to want to trade up in that spot. So you can't trade down. That's off the table. The 5 home run hitters, really, whether you like Richardson or like Carter or not, they have boom potential. So what the hell do you do? My eyes almost want to bleed when I see a corner there projected at 6.
No, absolutely. I know you guys are nervous, but you have to look at it like this. Okay, for me, what I'd love to see if Jalen Carter was there. Would the Lions take the chance? I want to know, would they take a chance on that prospect based on what's happened? But the scenario that you've presented, I still think there are players 6 through 10 that you would love to have. I think Tyree Wilson could come in and really play well with his great wingspan. 6'6", over 265 pounds, potentially slot him into the interior of the defensive line.
Yep.
Yeah, in and out, you can do a lot of things well with Tyree Wilson. I look at it, and maybe it does open the potential to trade back, maybe even down to the 20s if you need be. What you've done is you've given yourself a lot of options at number 6. If you choose to stay there, you could even take a Lucas Van Ness. Many people are high on what he can bring to the table. But guys, what's going to happen is I trust the Lions evaluators to find the best talent for that team. Tough, gritty football player, and it probably at that spot you would look at Tyree Wilson in that scenario.
How about at 18 then? Who you grabbing at 18?
Now you're at 18. Yeah, now you're getting to the luxury picks. Maybe you go back and you look at, Joey Porter Jr., you look at the defensive back. You potentially, maybe move that up to maybe get a top wide receiver if you want to play that game again. Maybe you do fall in love with Bijan Robinson. It gives you a lot of flexibility.
How do you feel about Doc? Let me stop you. How do you feel about Bijan Robinson? Does the David Montgomery signing change anything for the Lions in terms of
will he be there?
If Bijan, I don't even think he's going to be there at 18, but if he is there at 18, if he's staring you in the face, what do you do there?
If he's staring you in the face at 18, you take him, because that's another weapon for Jared Goff. You remember, guys, the most success that Jared Goff had was playing with Todd Gurley. Yeah, absolutely. So you give him another weapon, a home run threat, a dog, everybody that people potentially feel is the next big thing at running back. And for the discussion regarding not giving him 3 contracts, you still would have control of him for 5 years. And that's just perfect in this window where this Detroit Lions football team is at. But I'm loving the opportunity in the first round with what the Lions do. Maybe you look at a linebacker, Trenton Simpson. Maybe you look at other positions of need. Guys, remember, what's Brad Holmes doing? He's building through the trenches. Yeah. So don't rule out Osiris, the big offensive tackle.
From Florida.
So you look at opportunities that Brad Holmes has. I know there's a lot of angst regarding what pick is going to be there and who might not be there, who the Lions, who you guys fall in love with. But now I would say that whatever happens in the first round and in the draft, Mel Kiper today just came out and told us in the media that Brad Holmes gets an A for his draft efforts. I am very much now A+. I am trusting that draft board that he's put up there right now, however variations shake out, the players that are going to be brought in, they're going to produce. Odds are they're going to come in and play at a high level. I think your nervousness stems from the past where they would draft a player and the next guy drafted would be Aaron Donald. Brad Holmes has started to put that to rest a little bit, trust a little bit more in Brad Holmes. Where I would worry is the second round. When it comes to the second round, I'm going to be sweating like, please pick a player that's going to produce. Well, that's where the busts have been.
All you gotta do, Doc, is just look who was injured last year, who's available this year, because you got to take an injured player in the second round, right? I can crack myself.
You got to keep it going.
Yeah,
you got to keep the streak going.
Hey, Doc, great stuff, man. We love having you. Thanks for everything here. Check him out on Twitter at Detroit Podcast. Covers the Lions on SI.com. The great Doc Maakaron. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
See you, Doc.
Thanks, everybody. Go Lions.
Go Lions. So we're split there. We're split. He and I agree on the Bijan. We're split on the quarterback situation. And that's fine. And I do want to react to something that he said at the end of that interview.
We'll do that. And
you got a couple things too. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. That's right. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. They now have the Buick and GMC brand. Same great service that customers have come to know. You can go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, looking for a Chevy or Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue still has those brands. All the brands under one umbrella at LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Find them.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, give Alta Rental a call today. 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO, the number 2, Alta.
So, just had Doc Maakaron, SI.com, on, and one of the things that he said, and I can't agree with him more about this, it's you do, as a Lions fan, I think if you're a reasonable Lions fan, you do have this sense of
nervousness.
Not nervousness. No, I'm the opposite of nervousness. I have this sense of peace and resolve that Brad Holmes is making this pick. You know, whether it's Anthony Richardson, whether it's Bijan Robinson, whether it's Christian Gonzalez, like it's not what I would not pick Christian Gonzalez, but if Brad Holmes is telling you that the pick there at 6 is Christian Gonzalez or Devin Witherspoon, I'm cool with it because his track record shows that he knows more than I do. I don't think it's ever been like that for Lions fans. We have been at odds with this organization and have had a combative relationship with this organization as fans, as media, as whoever.
Yeah.
It's not that case anymore. So, I mean, there were how many years, how many decades have gone by where you as a Lions fan have felt like, and whether you're right or wrong about this, you have felt like you know more about how to put a good team on the field than whoever is in that chair.
Because I did.
Exactly.
I did.
Exactly.
Like, my dad and I would watch the draft all the time as a Lions fan, growing up in Detroit, knowing what I know about football. And every year you're just like, oh, this guy. I remember we drafted Chris Claiborne. I was like, yeah, he was a good player at USC, but I'm not drafting him Mike Lyon. Like, every year you're like.
Exactly.
So and I get you exactly what you're saying.
I'm trying to say is it's not like that anymore. So I do kind of take a little bit of I have a piece about who's making the pick.
We definitely have a piece about who's making the pick. You know, I think now more so than anything, we have piece of who's making the pick. We just know the position we wouldn't take. Mm-hmm. Like for you, your position at 6 is like, I don't want a cornerback. I'm not taking a cornerback. That's not what I want. That's not what I do. But if Brad Holmes do it, you know what? I would give him the benefit of the doubt and I'll wait and see at least. So I definitely understood that. The big thing I wanted to talk about was what you said about Anthony Richardson. That's what I've been saying. Like Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, they're building this thing together. And Ben Johnson, yeah, we know he won't be here. But they're still building the type of offense that they want to see run in terms of the offensive line, Jared Goff, the wide receivers, the ways that they run that offense, his schematical scheme, like it's built for him. You talk about now. Like everybody talks about now. People think you can go to the NFC Championship this year. People talking about winning the Super Bowl next year. You said it's the sexy pick right now for the Super Bowl. Anthony Richardson's not coming in right now and winning the Super Bowl. So if you're looking to win right now, that's another big thing for me. If you're looking to win right now, that 6th pick, it's something that can help you right now. And if it can't, you can trade back if that's available there and make it happen. So the big thing right is now. Then don't tell me about a guy that's going to be a 2-year project.
My PTSD is gone with the draft. I'm not thinking of Jelani Tavai anymore. No. I'm not thinking of
Kyle Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy, Davis, who was our 2nd-round pick out of Florida. I'll never get his.
Tease Tabor.
Yeah, Tease Tabor.
Titus Young.
I'm okay now. You know what? I'm okay.
Javid Best.
Even if they took an offensive lineman at 6, I think I would be okay.
Absolutely. Me too.
You make one at 6.
Make what you do great. Make it greater.
If they think he's the man, I'm all in.
I am too.
Do I want a quarterback? Yeah, I do. But am I rooting for Jared Goff to become the best Jared Goff he can? Yes, of course I am.
You look at it like this. Here's a name. Here's a comparison. Now talking about the Jalen Carter situation. Obviously, that's still a thing for the Detroit Lions. A lot of people still have him mocked to the Detroit Lions as of now. Man, there was another lineman that this happened to years ago. Tom Mazawey, Ryan Ermanni. Another lineman that this happened to.
His name LT.
Nope. This
Not
is
Laramie Tunsil?
Nope. He plays on the same side as Jalen Carter. He plays the same position to a certain extent as Jalen Carter. He was a guy that was going top 5 and ended up going 15 because of stuff that came out. His name, ladies and gentlemen, it's Warren Sapp.
Oh, wow.
Warren Sapp went from top 2 to getting drafted 14th by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We know how that career went for him with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm just saying. There's always an example.
So, I love these mock drafts. I do. CBS's latest mock draft, they have the Lions trading out of the 6th pick. They have them trading from 6 to 16.
Oh.
They have the Washington Commanders trading up and getting Will Levis with the 6th pick. And the Lions move down to 16.
Because you beat John Robinson.
And take Quentin Johnson, the wide receiver from TCU, coming back at 18 and taking Bijan Robinson. Offense. I have maintained, I think offense is the way to go. People have laughed at me. People have mocked me. People have clown emoji'd me.
But also, I've said at 6 if you pick at 6. Like if you trade out of it, then that kind of, then that nullifies the pick at 6, trading out of it. But to your point, they are addressing offense. I just don't know with Quentin Johnston. I just don't know that. I saw the breakaway against Michigan. I saw the 74-yard, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if Quentin Johnston, is the guy you take over Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too, is you look at those wide receivers, man. They
keep dropping.
Yeah, they do.
Like that. Jackson Smith and Jigba before the season was the number 1 player. I think he was number 3 behind the quarterbacks. Then he drops to 10. Then he doesn't play. He drops to 13. Now he's in the 20s. Quentin Johnson jumps up there. Jordan Addison was in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Addison
then he was 13. Now he's completely dropped off. Yeah, it's very interesting what happened this year with Jackson Smith and Jigba and Will Anderson, considering their projections last season.
Would you be disappointed if you got Mozzie Smith somewhere in this draft?
No, I think he's a perfect player for this team.
I'm just saying.
I think he's a perfect player for this team.
He is moving up the boards. A lot of Michigan players.
He'll be gone by the time the Lions pick in the 2nd round.
A lot of Michigan players are moving up the board.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
I do want to talk a little Michigan if we could. Can we do that next?
Yes, we can.
Big day.
Jason Moose wants us to talk about
Big day for the Michigan Wolverines yesterday. Tell you why and how the tide has completely turned, and I'm not talking about Alabama. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. I did want to say this. When we started here at Woodward Sports in August of 2021, I believe it was.
August 12th.
August 12th.
Yeah.
I think there was something like 12,000 subscribers on YouTube, something in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
We have just recently crossed 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is incredible. We cannot thank each and every one of you enough who watch us on YouTube. Definitely. Maybe you're watching at home, on your couch, on your flat screen, whatever the case may be.
One of your devices.
Thank you so much. Over 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, when we first started, that was a mythical number that would have never imagined we'd get there this quickly. So thank you so much for that. Want to talk a little college football, if we could, because it was a big day for the Michigan Wolverines yesterday. They picked up a 4-star running back, Jordan Marshall, He picked the University of Michigan over Ohio State from the famed Cincinnati Moeller High School, one of the most famous high schools in the state of Ohio. For a running back to pick Michigan over Ohio State is, I think, puts a stamp on it. This rivalry has completely turned in Michigan's favor.
I 100%. I tweeted yesterday, like, as soon as this happened, I said, you know what? I said, this is the beginning. I mean, the beginning started when they lost on that snowy day 2 years ago in Ann Arbor. But this is the beginning of the end. When you start seeing your 4-star recruits, it's not like this is a 3-star recruit, a 3-star recruit that had some interest in Ohio State, and it was like, maybe we'll have you. But this is a 4-star. This is a 4-star. This is a top 300 player in the country. This is a guy that can get it done. When these guys start choosing, nobody was going to Michigan from Ohio 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago. Now you're starting to see this. He's got 4 Ohio recruits committed this year. He's had 9 total in his 7-year tenures before that, correct, Ryan Ermanni?
Yep. I was going to make that point. So just another to highlight it, Jim Harbaugh has got 4 Ohio recruits this year. 4 Ohio recruits. In the previous 7 years, he had 9 total.
1,000%. You look at it from this standpoint, man. It's like when I was playing, we had some good players come from Ohio to come to Michigan, but Michigan still was Michigan.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson. I mean, we stuck Mario Manningham. We got Mario Manningham in my same high school as Maurice Claret, and we got him to come there. So, but now it's starting to happen again. When Jim Harbaugh beats Ryan Day in their second meeting, and then he goes on TV and say he's born on 3rd, and then he comes back the next year and he destroys Ryan Day in Ohio State in Columbus for the 2nd time in a row. See, there's rumblings down there in Columbus. Sponsors, donors, like, they don't like that stuff. You don't lose to Michigan. I won't care about any of these other schools. You can lose to Iowa on blackout all you want to. Don't lose to that school up north. And now they lost twice in a row. Ryan Day loses, and then recruits hear that. Recruits' parents hear that. They hear the uneasiness of the temperature in Columbus. They're like, man, it's a little hot down there. This is not a time to go to. This is not time to go to Columbus. We don't know if he's gonna be here. Ryan Day loses to Michigan this year. When Ryan Day loses to Michigan this year, he'll be out there in that eviscerating Pac-12 coach in Arizona State. Now he'll be gone.
He'll be with Brady Hoke.
He'll 100%. He will be gone. Ohio State does not play that. Does not play that. Cooper was a damn good coach. Couldn't beat Michigan. Got him out of there. Ohio State doesn't play that, so the tide has turned. Now we're getting the recruits, guys from Ohio, and Ohio is one of those gold mines of football. Gold mines of football. Little known fact, all our Heisman Trophy winners here in Michigan, all of them are from Ohio. It's a gold mine of football. If we can get back into that state, because now you don't have to go over to California and way out here. You're going into a state where those kids are familiar with what Michigan is. You're not trying to educate some kid from Dallas, Texas on what the Michigan brand is.
Well, let me ask you this. If this running back, this 4-star running back, is going to Michigan, isn't he looking at both schools saying, well, that school, Ohio State, they're wide receiver they don't run the ball. Michigan, that's all they do is run the ball.
Well, I mean, that's part of it, Maz, but I mean, you also look at the pros, right? Any high school player that highly recruited believes they have the ability to go to the NFL. If you look at Ohio State running backs and then look at Michigan running backs, okay, you're looking at Ezekiel Elliott, J.K. Dobbins, hell, you go
Ohio State,
Archie Griffin, Eddie George. I mean, the list. I mean, hell, even Mike Weber, who went from Cass Tech to Ohio State, got a look in the NFL because he went to Ohio State. I couldn't tell you. I mean, Hassan Haskins.
It's not about which school to go to. Blake Corum was rushing for 1,600 yards. Donovan Edwards is rushing for 1,000. Or Hassan Haskins. It's not about that. They're not looking from that because at the end of the day, Maya Williams had 1,200 2 years ago. Travion Henderson had 1,100 2 years ago. Travion Henderson also got hurt this year. Maya Williams still had 1,000 this year. They still got running backs. It's not about that. They ain't winning no more. I use aim for effect. They're not winning. They're not winning anymore. Ryan Day. There's a lot of.
They almost got the championship last year.
You said what?
They almost made it to the national championship.
Almost doesn't count. This Ohio State. Same thing you said about yourself.
They could have beat Georgia. That's what I'm saying.
Maz, did they beat Michigan?
No.
Did they beat Michigan the year before that?
No.
That's why that kid's going to Michigan.
I totally agree with you.
I hope you're right.
And it was exactly why Mike Weber, if shoe goes on the other foot,
left Cass.
Mike Weber left Cass Tech. and the University of Michigan, recruiting for Ohio State. And it's kind of the same situation.
Mike Weber was on the team in Michigan. Jordan Lewis.
That's right. Mike Weber was one of the best prospects in the state of Michigan when he came out of Cass Tech. Had an offer to go to everywhere in the country. Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, everywhere. He chose Ohio State because Michigan couldn't beat Ohio State. You wanted to play with the big boys. You wanted to be in the college football playoff. Well, despite the fact that Ohio State was in the college football playoff too, they have not beaten Michigan twice. And the anticipation, the expectation is they won't do it again this year, and they're going to have a new coach. If they lose to Michigan this year, Ohio State will have a new coach.
1,000%. He's right.
There's no doubt about it.
Did you see they signed the offensive tackle Roebuck too? Look what this kid said about going to Michigan.
He's a 6'7", 315-pound offensive tackle from Lakewood, Ohio. He chose the Wolverines over Tennessee, Penn State, and others. I was an OSU fan growing up, but then I grew up and realized that Michigan was the place to be. I mean, all these shots fired in the direction of Ohio State.
And I know what that means. Basically, he's talking about Michigan's a family. You look where it's the national brand. Everybody loves Michigan. Michigan's the family. They're now winning again. They're beating Ohio State again. They're doing it the right way. There's no, I guess there are a couple little bleeps and hiccups that come out last December. But, they're just a better program all the way around. There's no true sense of trying to make you better, trying to make you part of a family at Ohio State. The only thing at Ohio State is, look, we'll bring you in here because we think we can win a national championship, and in return, we'll get you to the NFL draft. Like, your job is come here, do your thing. We'll get you first round NFL draft. If you do your part, we'll win a national championship. That's it. Michigan's like, we want to do that, but we're also going to teach you about the world. We're also going to teach you about life. We're also going to make you a part of the biggest alumni base in the world. It's a big difference.
And if you look at Michigan players recently, the last couple of years, now the first-round picks, they've been few and far between, but Michigan's had a lot of solid pros, and that's why the NFL scouts were all over Michigan's Pro Day. 32 NFL teams represented in Ann Arbor, over 100 total NFL scouts, coaches, and 6 executives for Michigan's Pro Day. Braylon, what do you make of that? Put that into context for me here, that all 32 teams went and that over 100 scouts were there.
Yeah, on average at a top, one of these top-tier programs like, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, Oklahoma, on average you get somewhere 65. So 100 is a lot. 100 is a big number. 100 is a number. That means we believe in how you coach the kids.
Yeah.
Because we're not just coming for first-round picks or second-round picks. We believe in how you coach the kids, how you teach the kids the right way, and how these kids learn the right way. These guys are going to be players. There are teams that pick a lot of Michigan players. Green Bay loves Michigan players. Bill Belichick loves Michigan players. Like Parcells loves Michigan players. Giants love Michigan players. So now they're building the right way, and then they also have some guys and some stars. I mean, you see DJ Turner when he explodes with that 4.33. Now, I got some guys that were in the combine, and that were at the Pro Day, and they said Michigan Pro Day was great. They said the guys were in shape, the guys performed well, the guys lifted well, the guys were technically sound. That's what you want now in the NFL. You want guys to come out, be smart football players,
that's
technically sound. When you're smart and technical, you can get on the football field. You can help a team win a championship, but when you come out and you're just, you're brash and you don't study the playbook and you're just a talent, talent ain't good enough no more. We need you to be a talent and we need you to be technically sound.
That's an NFL player coaching his players up.
That's an NFL program.
Yep, that's an NFL program.
It's an NFL
that's
program.
What that is.
Shouts out to Jim Harbaugh.
Absolutely. And by the way, those players that get picked in the second, third, fourth rounds,
they're playing.
They're all playing, and they're all playing well.
Bengals love Michigan.
Yeah, Patriots love Michigan.
We just got one back. It's
no
be
doubt.
An offensive line.
Guys, going to take a break. When we come back, I want to stick with the pro days. I want to show you what Cam Newton did at his pro day at Auburn. But first, the message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Oh, man, Chili Peppers Tanning. 27 locations, more on the way, so you got no excuse to not find a Chili Peppers Tanning near you. And if you join the Pepper Club, they're going to treat you like a king. They're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. Plus, you get the great tanning professionals and the cleanest salons in the D. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters. Go to chilipepperstanning.com.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pro pros to Joes, you'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Jumpin' Puck, Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Is officially the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Right now, for a limited exclusive time, they have a proposition for their fans. $15. So, oh my God, this package is so good. I always forget about how good the cranberry flavor is. But for the Red Wings 6-pack, $15, free shipping and handling. All you got to do is go to drinkcitron.com/Woodward to pick up one of those. Suitable for vegans, gluten-free, and at the end of the day, it just tastes good.
That's what's up. Also good, the Birmingham roast water with the lemon in it. My
ice
goodness.
goes fast, but the water is good.
The
So
ice
good.
is like non-existent.
It's the quickest. It is the biggest sham.
I still have ice in
I've
here.
ever seen. You said what?
I still have ice in here from 250. That's pretty
Yeah, I
darn
got
good.
a couple of cubes
You
left.
said from 250. Like you can
Yeah.
barely.
I mean, that's almost an hour.
That's more lemon than anything.
You hear that?
That's water.
By the way, when the ice evaporates, how come the water doesn't go up?
Oh, I saw. I
Why?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
No, I actually saw that.
I have
know
no
the answer
idea.
to that.
Because I think, and I don't know this, and I probably shouldn't even speak on this.
Right.
Then maybe you should.
But
Oh, go ahead.
the ice actually takes up space, right?
Yeah.
And when it melts, that space goes down.
I don't know.
We'll have the answer for you guys tomorrow. We'll bring it in.
We
I
need
actually
Bill.
know this answer.
We need Bill Nye.
Freaking no.
I've watched it on one of those. I
you
can't
guys are
remember. I
dope.
think it was.
You know, someone in the chat's gonna know why. Go ahead.
what's his
Teach
name?
us, guys. Teach us.
enough.
I'll teach you about a little NFL football. And
Yeah, come
a
on.
guy
Neil
that's
deGrasse Tyson. He gave me the answer.
Yeah,
once.
what
Neil
did he
deGrasse
say?
Tyson.
a guy that's
That
still
guy's
hucking
great.
the seed is Cam Newton. He was at Auburn's pro day yesterday, and he was amazing. Now, we could show his video here. We won't listen because it's got music in the back, but look at this.
You said he was amazing?
Yeah, look. Just look at this throw.
That's
on
one
the run.
throw from this. I saw this pro day. It sucked. He was overthrowing guys left and right. Had one heave.
First of all, he missed one. He overthrew one dude. Calm down. It was a horrible throw, by the way. But to your point,
Calm
man,
down.
well, with the one overthrow, calm down. But the horrible pro day, no, that was true. Maz.
Was it bad?
Maz, I just want you to start counting these clock in your head. I just want you to know what NFL offense is going to be able to protect Chris Jones and Frank Clark, who doesn't play anymore, I get it, that long so Cam Newton can run backwards for 15 seconds and throw a pop fly for 35 yards. What team? What team? Now, with Cam Newton, I love Cam. I'm a big Cam fan. I've always loved Cam. Cam took a lot of punishment on his body. Like, he's a big dude. He's 6'6", 6'6.5". He's 245, 250. Took a lot of punishment. His arm is out of socket. He can't throw as far as he used to, et cetera, et cetera. But that pro day, that should show Cam, like, look, man, go home. He comes out, he says, yo, no 32 MFers aren't better than me.
Did you see that video?
For sure. Now,
Did you watch that?
No, look, I understand the video. If you're trying, you weren't in the NFL last year. If you're trying to
he said it last year too.
Understand it, but last year he played. If you're trying to go viral and get back in the league, Ryan, what do? You drop a video because you're Cam Newton with a hype man. He dropped the MF bomb. Everybody got into it, and everybody went and watched that pro day. Everybody saw that pro day. So that's called being an artist. That's called bringing people in. Now, the pro day was crap, but you still watched it.
Bray, the video was fine. The part about 32 MFers and this and the other is fine. Did you watch the video after that?
No.
He couldn't throw to the guys. Like, I would have edited better throws.
You're talking with the pro day?
No, I'm talking about on that MFer video. Guys have to stop. Guys are leaping.
That's his brother.
I couldn't believe he allowed that to be his own edited video.
What else was he going to do?
Redo it.
He can't. It's over.
Redo it.
His arm was hurting.
And the other thing, too, like with Cam is, because I brought up the conversation. I'm like, Baker Mayfield just got paid $8.5 million to be a starting quarterback for the Buccaneers. Cam Newton can play in this league. The problem is when you're not a backup, because Cam ain't no starter.
Mm-hmm.
I love Cam. You can make a package for him. Maybe you make a Taysom Hill package for him somewhere. He's not a starter. But the big thing that all people keep saying, whether it's NFL scouts or NFL GMs, your backup quarterback can't be the biggest personality on the team. Like your backup quarterback, he can't be popular. Your backup quarterback needs to be able to go to the grocery store and nobody asking for an autograph. You can't have Cam Newton on your team as a backup because he'd be the biggest personality on the team, and that's just not good.
RJ Graham on the chat says, why just go play the USFL or the XFL or the CFL? Why not? If you desperately want to play that bad, you have to play football.
You've never been there. You don't understand. You can't go from being Cam Newton, the #1 overall pick, to winning the Heisman, to winning the national championship.
It's over.
Hold on. Okay, it is. But I'm telling you, you said why not just go? I'm telling you why not just go. Like the mindset, this is who I am. Then you go to Carolina. Cam Newton was the biggest thing in the NFL. Whether you liked him or loved him, when you hated him or loved him, he's the biggest thing in the NFL until Odell came in. And then he goes MVP. They go 15-1. Go to the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl had a lot to do with his mental after that. But then after that, it's over. It's over. You can't go from that.
Totally agree
to
with
the
you.
XFL, the CFL, to the USFL. You can't go from that to that unless you're TL that's trying to do it at 50.
Totally agree with you on that point, except if you are so desperate to play football. If you really want to be a football player still.
No, you don't want to play football. You want to play NFL football.
Well, and he's not going to have that chance right now.
Remember when Rafi was carrying the spit bucket for Mickey? Mickey didn't want him to do that.
No.
All right, but he did it anyway.
Carried the spit bucket.
He did. He carried the spit bucket.
Guys, they don't want to see you like that.
Hey, there's another quarterback that had a chance to come back last year. We didn't hear about this. Ben Roethlisberger was called up by the San Francisco 49ers.
According to who?
To come bail them out.
Who called this bum up? Nobody in their right mind.
And he said, no, thank you. I can only see myself in the gold and black. Yellow and black.
I'm going to tell you what Ben Roethlisberger is. One, he's a piece of work, too. He's another one of those Aaron Rodgers type guys. Ben Roethlisberger is now not hearing himself talked about anymore because he's been retired. They're talking about Tom Brady, talking about Aaron Rodgers trying to potentially extend. Hell, they're talking about Matt Ryan still playing. They're talking about Phillip Rivers is making a comeback, or he was trying to make a comeback. He's not hearing his name, and he thinks he's an all-time great. He wants to hear his name. So he floats this BS rumor out here. If you are the 49ers last year, this year, any year, you're not picking up Ben Roethlisberger after the way those 2 years happened in Pittsburgh, how his season ended. Do you remember that Monday Night Football game 2 years ago between he and Baker Mayfield? Who the hell would go pick Ben Roethlisberger up after that? You know how he is in the locker room with his teammates. Teammates don't like him. They just play. He's Big Ben.
But it was just it would have been for a few games.
Nah, nobody was picking up.
He would have been better than Josh Johnson.
No, because you got to bring him into the organization. This is Cap. Nobody's bringing his broken down ass into the 49ers organization for a couple games. You might as well. What was the quarterback that played in the NFC Championship?
Josh Johnson.
Yeah, bring him in. Yeah, exactly. This is all Cap. Ben's a liar. I stand by that too. He's a liar. Cap.
Cap.
You're right.
Yeah, Cap.
I
wouldn't doubt it.
What does that mean, Cap?
Cap means you lying.
Facts.
That means you lying. Like no cap means I'm not lying. Right. Cap means
no
you lying.
cap.
You know a guy who was lying? One of your guys. OBJ. Because the word on the street was OBJ was indeed asking for $15 to $20 million a year until he found out that no one was going to pay him.
He said that he said he never asked for 20. He said he just wasn't going for 4.
Last year's price ain't today's price. Ain't this year's.
And guess what? That goes both ways.
Right. Last year's price ain't this year's price.
It go both ways.
You know, that's just what it was. Last year was the wide receiver market.
And it was I feel bad for OBJ in this sense. Last year he was supposed to get paid. Like OBJ did one of those things. He did everything right. to rebrand an image. Does that make sense? He did everything right to rebrand an image. Left Cleveland, went to L.A. He worked out. He was a great teammate. He was awesome from end of December all the way through the Super Bowl. They was on pace for Super Bowl MVP. Tears his ACL, and now here we are. I feel bad for him.
There was a trade between your two former teams as well, Bray.
49ers and the Jets. Could this be?
Nope. Jets and the Browns.
Jets and the Browns?
The Jets are sending wide receiver Elijah Moore to the Cleveland Browns. That's according to Adam Schefter.
He's been wanting to get out of town for 2 years.
Rightfully so. I understood what he saw. He just went about it the right way.
Now he's going to hell.
No,
I don't think.
disagree.
Guys, I got to.
Amari Cooper.
No, I'm only.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Cleveland's on the way up.
And Njoku the tight end. And now you got Elijah Moore, who you remember that 2021 season. If Deshaun Watson can come back and give us 80% of what he was in 2019, 2020, sheesh.
What the Jets
told
get?
you, I don't know. It's just an Adam Schefter tweet. It's Schefter, but not Schefter.
Right.
But there is an Adam Schefter account out there. I will say I do believe that Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns, they could win that division this year.
Here's the thing about it, and everybody tries to make this up.
No way.
Everybody tries to make this.
Not beating the Bengals.
Bengals lost a lot of players. I mean,
Not beating the Bengals.
Not necessarily so. Bengals don't ever look great. Like throughout the course of the whole year, they don't score a lot of points. They always win in the fourth quarter or overtime. They give up a lot of easy games. He turns it on in January.
That old line is better though.
He turns. Yeah, it is 100%. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't sleep. Baltimore is in disarray. The Steelers, like, we think they're going to be good. They finished strong, but are you really trusting Kenny Pickett? So don't sleep. The only thing about it is everybody likes to compare Deshaun Watson to Mike Vick when they're like, yo, I mean, you see what happened when Mike Vick come back. It took him a while, and he never was the same. Like, yeah, he ran with his feet. No, that's a partial lie. One, Mike Vick was never as polished as a quarterback as Deshaun Watson. At no point in Mike Vick's life was he ever as polished as a quarterback as Mike Vick was. That's what you're going to see out of Deshaun Watson. And even Mike Vick got it right in his second year back. He made the Pro Bowl. So
I did see the return, by the way.
What was it?
The return, it's for a 2023 third-round pick. They're trading more with a 2023 pick for this year's second-round pick.
Ooh.
So that's pretty
good.
So the Jets get the second-round pick?
Correct, yep.
And they got Mecole Hardman today?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's only one piece they're waiting
and that's
for.
per Ian rap
sheet.
Yep.
Thanks there, Raj. All right, gang. Going to take a break. Come right back when we do. Braylon has something to say about Mike Trout.
Yeah.
But first, a message from Guardian Alarm.
You set it up like, oh, my God. It's not going to meet up to the level of expectation.
Well, I want to hear it, and I want Raj to weigh in, too, on it.
Raj, you got to take over for the take, man.
Right now is the perfect time to make sure you have the peace of mind and the security from Guardian Alarm, the most trusted name in home and business security. 24/7 monitoring. You can have the peace of mind knowing that you are being backed by the best in the security business. All you have to do is call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Hey, stay out.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Is back. Catch it while you can at your local Big Boy. You know some of the great foods you can eat during Lent. You got to watch it. You got to eat your fish on Lent. So that's why they got it. They've got the shrimp stir fry, the shrimp Alfredo, and of course the new fish sandwich. And on Friday nights, it's the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet only at your local Big Boy.
segment with Maz.
Edwards and Ermanni. I like that.
There you go, man. You like that, right?
You switched that up a little.
I switched it up real quick. You like how I did that? Let's see if anybody noticed. How you feeling over there, big guy?
I'm good, man. I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. There's no baseball.
I know it's no baseball. It's no football. I mean, you got basketball. It's no tournament. No tournament until tomorrow. I mean, the women's is on tonight, but yeah, that was tough, man. Speaking of the WBC Classic, talked about that. Brian set me up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have anything that sexy to say about Mike Trout. The only thing I was going to say, Raj, back me up on this one, is one, I saw a stat that said in 6,000 at-bats,
it's an incredible stat.
Mike Trout has only struck out, 24 times?
So he swung and missed it.
3 pitches.
4 strikes?
No, 3. He's only swung and missed 3 times at an at-bat, 24 times out of 6,000.
It's incredible.
That's like Tony Gwynn numbers.
Your
right
mic's
there.
off.
Oh.
No, it's on.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, sorry.
Yeah, it's like Tony Gwynn. It's insane.
That's freaking nuts. And then the other thing about Mike
Last
Trout.
night, he didn't touch a pitch.
No, he didn't. He was swinging, though.
Yeah.
And that's what it goes back to.
He did not make contact.
Is he his kryptonite? I'll tell you like this: he didn't hit well, but man, that Joker got around them bases. When he made that double, I was like, whoa. I never knew Mike Trout was that fast. And you talking about this year 12? Like he was moving, and still almost got caught.
He was the Mickey Mantle of this era.
Yeah, he was moving.
Okay, I'll say something blasphemous here. Is Mike Trout kind of like a Miguel Cabrera type player in that?
To moments.
Me, they have the stats, but if you told me one Mike Trout moment in a game,
I don't have any.
Do you have any?
But there's one main difference.
What?
At least Mickey got opportunities for those moments. Mike Trout ain't never had an opportunity to make a moment.
That's fair.
Well, last night was his only time to make a moment.
That's a big stage.
Like Mickey's had opportunities to make moments and they haven't happened.
Yeah.
Like Mike Trout's played for the worst organization in baseball for the better part of a decade and plus.
How do you lose when you have Ohtani and Trout?
It's just the simple fact that there was a draft a couple of years ago. The Angels, all they picked was pitchers. I mean, what the hell is that?
Camera. Sorry, Rod.
It's all right. The Angels, Arnie Moreno, I'm not really sure what he's doing at half the time. He gets these guys, and then he doesn't finish surrounding the team. Mm-hmm. It kind of half-asses it a little bit, to be honest. And to me, imagine Trout as a Yankee, we would be so annoyed. He'd be on Sunday Night Baseball all the time.
Yeah.
It'd be like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like almost. He'd be like Patrick Mahomes because he's a quiet guy. He does his own thing. And it'd be Patrick Mahomes. All they will talk about is Patrick. Like Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
This is all they talk about is Aaron Judge.
And he's from New Jersey, too. So...
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because I just these great baseball players, you know, I mean, I could name you 20 Derek Jeter moments off the top of my head. You know what I mean? Just when these guys get a chance, they just, I mean, other than milestones, even with Miggy, I mean, there's probably on 2 fingers you can remember something with Miggy. The Mariano Rivera home run.
Hey.
Talking about non-milestone moments, you know?
You're about to remember one finger coming from Fletch. You keep talking about Miggy. You keep talking about Miggy. You're going to get a finger.
Trout is on that track.
Yeah.
You know, Miguel Cabrera has been on a losing team more than he's been on a winning team in his entire career.
He still has a World Series.
2.
Not with the Tigers, though.
One,
but again, you know, these great players, whether it's Cabrera, Trout, they're on losing teams more than they are winning teams.
It's like Bradley Bill in basketball.
Yeah, and in baseball, it's not exclusively their fault. I understand that, but wild, man. Mike Trout.
Tomorrow, Sweet 16 tomorrow, right back at it.
There it is.
I know you're excited about college basketball.
I am excited to watch Michigan State. I'm rooting for Michigan State to win the national championship.
Well, if they beat Kansas State,
they got a shot.
They're in the Final Four.
You will see nowadays in college basketball, you'll start to see, I promise you this. You want your hot take alert? Here's a hot take alert. In 5 years, you'll see a 16 win a national championship.
NIL.
You'll see a 16 because of NIL, because of the way it's trending, and then because now you'll get guys staying in college, like the smaller schools. These smaller schools, like I looked it up with St. Pete's, you look at Princeton, you look at these schools, Fairleigh Dickinson. Man, these guys, New Jersey, St. Pete's, guys go to middle school together, they go to high school together, they go to college together. They play basketball together 10 years. So when you come in here as an overrated, tier 1 school, allegedly, these guys been playing together 10, 11 years. They know each other. They're going to beat you. They're going to beat your ass.
We'll talk about the Final Four tomorrow. Michigan State's chances. Bray, get us out of here, my friend.
Great show, man. We're back. Helio, appreciate you in that sound booth, man. Great talking some WBC as well as the Tigers.
Yeah,
we
great
didn't really
day,
talk
Everett,
Tigers,
Helio.
but we did talk baseball, man. Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. It's over. Now it's time to get back to football. Appreciate our guest today, Doc Always have a good show with you, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. What do you want to talk about tomorrow?
Oh, man.
Don't spoil it.
Okay, very good.
I appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.